How you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. But anyway, let's get right into it. Let's get down to business, and I'm gonna show you what project we're gonna be building tonight. It's gonna be a fun one. I stumbled upon a video on YouTube, and the person was talking about tagging an EC2 instance with Lambda using Boto3 and Python and EventBridge. Let me get into the details of what those services mean, how do they work together, the overall orchestration. Okay? So consider this. You have a company, and people in your company are launching instances left and right. The bill has gotten so big that you probably want to build a solution uh, to the problem. So one of the solutions to people launching EC2 instances left and right is to build a system where EC2 instance that is launched is automatically tagged with the person who has launched it. But for that, we need user ID. We need the information about the user who has launched that instance. So this is where AWS CloudTrail comes in play. AWS CloudTrail is the service that monitors all of the API calls that are being made inside of the AWS account, and it also keeps track of the users who has done those API calls. AWS CloudTrail is deeply integrated with the EventBridge. The purpose of the EventBridge is to create rules, and once those rules are matched, you are able to trigger something. You are able to send the parameters to other services. In our case, it's going to be Lambda. So with the help of AWS CloudTrail and EventBridge, we're able to pack the data nicely and neatly into the event inside the Lambda. So the Lambda will do its magic. We're going to write some code. We're going to be using Boto3 library, and inside that library there is a method to create tags for EC2 instances. For that, we need to give the Lambda permission to interact with this service. Not only do we need the permission to interact with it, we also need to give it the permission to tag those instances. We're going to be using Amazon CloudWatch for registering all the logs that are being done by the Lambda. Amazon CloudWatch is the only way to debug our Lambda. Okay, so yes, this is it. I hope this makes sense. This is what we're going to be building today. So this is the list of things that we need to get done. We need to create a Lambda function first. I like to create Lambda functions first because then we can attach the rule to the Lambda function that we've already created. Then, after we created the Lambda function, let's give that Lambda permission to interact with the EC2 service using IAM permissions. Then we're gonna enable AWS CloudTrail. This is the service that keeps track of all the APIs that are being made inside the AWS account, and it stores them in the S3. But we don't need to access the S3 bucket. EventBridge is a very nice service that allows us to use the integration with AWS CloudTrail. We were going to see it in a second. It's very nice. Then we need to make that EventBridge rule, and we're going to attach it to the Lambda. And later, we're going to search for the method inside the Boto3 library that we're going to be we're gonna write some code. All right. So I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, uh, please make sure to read AWS documentation. The AWS documentation explains AWS concepts and services better than anybody else. It explains them best, and just give it a chance. The people who have built those services obviously know them best. Okay, so let's not waste any time and get into it. We're gonna create a Lambda function right here, create new function, EC2 tag. Oops, sorry. Here Python 3.9. We're gonna create a new role, and then we're gonna edit that role. Okay. It's gonna take a little while. Okay, now we have our Lambda ready. Let's just go to the configurations, and here we can see the role name EC2 tag role. Let's just tap on it, click on it, and we can see our AWS Lambda basic execution role. Let's take a look at that role. It's the default role that's being created every time the Lambda function is being created. So let's edit that policy. We can add an additional policy. What we need to give the permission to this, what we need to add to this policy is something to do with EC2. So a service EC2. We can allow all EC2 actions, but let's follow the AWS best practices, best security practices, and grant least permission. Okay. Select resources to restrict access. Let's do all resources. Okay. Now, review the policy, and we're gonna give it tagging permissions. Okay, let's take a look at it. We are able to delete tags and create tags on all of the resources of the EC2. Awesome. Okay, I like that. So we've done we've done what we need to do, what we needed to do. So let's just get out of here. And what I like to do is I like to double check if everything is all right. Yep, everything has been saved. Okay, what we need to do next is let's enable our CloudTrail. Let's create a trail. It's going to be my trail. Just create a trail, yeah. Okay, the trail is enabled and it's logging. And we can see the bucket it's logging into. Okay, so let's not look at it. Okay, so we have our CloudTrail enabled and it's logging. Okay, everything is successful so far. Let's go next to the EventBridge and create the event rule. We're gonna create a new rule. We're gonna name it EC2 launch. no description. Rule with an event pattern. Enable the rule on the selected event bus. Yes, sir. Then the event resource is going to be AWS events, and then AWS events again. Use pattern form, and we're gonna, yes, event source is gonna be AWS service. What service is it gonna be? It's gonna be EC2 instance. An event type is gonna be the CloudTrail. Okay, AWS API Cloud via CloudTrail. And here in the event source EC2 Amazon AWS.com, what's that gonna do is that gonna, our rule is gonna fetch all the matching conditions from the event bus, and every time an AWS API call via CloudTrail is matched, meaning if any action is occurring with the EC2 instance, then our rule will be fired. What we need to do is we need to give specific operations to it. So in the specific operations, we need to run instances. That's going to be the event name, because we can do multiple things with the EC2, right? We can terminate instances, we can run instances, we can stop instances, and we don't want that rule to fire every time we interact with the EC2 instance in any way. We only want it to fire when the event name is run instances. And I'm going to show you in just a minute of why we do this and where do I get this information from. Okay, let's click on next and select a target. Our target is going to be the Lambda function. And the Lambda function will be EC2 tag. Okay. No tags. Let's just review. Looks good to me. Okay, create rule. Awesome. So now if we go back to the Lambda function, it will actually update itself and it will show us the trigger being added to it. So we're going to see a trigger being attached to the Lambda function. Okay. Function overview, we can see the EventBridge over here being attached to the EC2 tag Lambda function. And this is the rule that we have created. It's enabled and we can see the event pattern, the rule for it. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, next we know that our EventBridge, whenever it's executed, it will pass in the parameters into our Lambda handler, and the parameters that's going to pass that are going to be passed into the Lambda functions are encapsulated in this event variable. So let's just print it. Let's just print the event variable and see what it has. And then we will just return, right? Okay, let's deploy it. And actually, let's test our EC2, our Lambda function. So we can name it anything we want. We can just do this. We can test event was successfully saved. Let's just test it. Okay, it works. Now we can see that CloudWatch log group has been created. Okay, we can see the output. Alright, so let's launch an instance and see if we have done everything correctly. Let's just test ourselves. Let's launch an instance. It's gonna be EC2, just like that. And then T2 micro key pair without a key pair. We're gonna select an existing security group. It's gonna be default. And just let's launch an instance. Successfully initiated. Okay, let's view all of the instances. Now this can take a little bit of time. Be patient. Okay, our instance is running, and I think we can see. Okay, we can see the JSON data that's being passed into the event. Okay, so let's take a look at this pile of data. So just copy this, and what I like to use is the JSON formatter and validator. That's gonna make our JSON look pretty. Okay. Okay, let's just take a look at it like that. So version is equal to 0, account detail. So we can see details in here, and we can see username this is me, ranging my access key ID, my account ID. We can see the event time, we can see that event source, and we can see the event name. See, it's run instances. And if I decide to terminate this instance, the event name will be terminate instance. If I decide to stop the instance, the event name will be stop instance. So that's why we needed to specify what we need to that's what we needed to specify in our EventBridge rule, that every time the event name is run instances, that we need to fire the Lambda function. I hope this makes sense. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy everything, and I'm gonna go over here. Everything seems to work correctly. I'm very satisfied with it. So let's just work with this pile of data. Okay, so print event. We don't need to print our event anymore. Okay, let's just leave it. So what we need to do now is we need to go to Boto3 library. Here we go. Here I have the Boto3 library available, and this is the method that we need. It's gonna add only the specified tags for the specified Amazon EC2 resource or resources. When you specify an existing tag key, the value is overwritten with the new value. Each resource can have a maximum of 50 tags. Each tag consists of a key and operational value. Okay, so this is what we have over here. I have the code ready. This is the code that we need to put into our Lambda function. Oh, sorry. So what it does is it creates an EC2 from the Boto3 client EC2, and then inside the Lambda handler, the user will be equal to the event under the event, detail, user identity, detail user identity, username, Rinchin. The instance ID is equal to the event detail response elements, detail response element. And here we can see inside the response elements, we can see the request ID, reservation ID, owner ID, and we can see the instance set, right? Instance set items 0 instance ID. Instance set items instance ID. Items 0 because it's a list, and the first item in the list is under the index 0, and instance ID is this. So we have identified our instance ID and we have identified our user. Okay, username. Okay, let's just do this. Delete all of this. Let's deploy it. And let's see if we launch another instance. Will it be tagged with my username? Another instance. Successfully initiated. Okay, let's see on all of the instances. And let's see if our instance is automatically tagged with the person who has launched it. No, it's actually not tagged. I wonder why. Maybe we should wait a little bit more for the instance to... Actually, let's see what's happening in the CloudWatch logs. We have a new log stream. Error instance set. We have a key error of instance set inside the K. Let's try to debug what we have in here. Okay. Let's copy this again. Now let's actually go over here take a look at it. What we need to do is the instance ID. So the way we get to the instances set. Okay. It's not instance set, instances set. All right. Let's go back to the Lambda. And what I like to do is change it twice so that it saves everything for sure. Okay. Let's terminate all these instances and launch another one. Let's do my final instance. Let's see if it tags it. Okay, here we can see the owner Rinchin, and this is everything has been successful. We have debugged our application. We've done everything correctly. After that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know what would you like to see next. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.